All right, let's do it. Hey everyone, it's your boy Doc Williams, and today we're going to be talking about how you can find the right no-code tool for your business. So come with me. Okay, everybody, welcome. It's not Friday, it's Wednesday. So again, thanks so much for watching. Today we're going to be talking about how you can find the right no-code tool, how you can find it for your project, all of those things. So if you're new to the channel, this is what we do every single week. We build out businesses live and teaching you the right type of techniques, the right type of tech to get it done. Today, this is a question that we've been getting a lot, especially with the On Deck Fellowship starting. How to pick the right tool, how to pick the right no-code tool. We're going to be doing this live right now. Now, if you are new and you've never seen me before, again, my name is Doc Williams and I build businesses. If you want to see some of the projects I've been building out with no-code tools, you can check out the 75 no-code business ideas, and it details all of the tools I use. So we're going to be talking about the framework, how I use this to create businesses, how I consult and all those things. And this is the time. Let me know what you're working on and what questions you have. Esteban, thank you so much for being in the chat, and what you're trying to work on, because we're going to go through that today. So we're going to talk about the framework that I use, how I find the right tools, and how we help our clients and everything like that. And again, this is all about you. If you have a question on what kind of project you're building, all of those things, put it in the chat as well. So we're going to get right into it. 1 second, I have to make sure. Esteban, thanks so much for being here, stopping by this afternoon. It's today is launch day. Notion in Spanish. Congratulations. That's awesome. If you want people to stop by, or if you have a certain page you want people to visit, congratulations on that project, man. And let us know how we can support that. That's good stuff. Really happy about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about picking the right tool, how you can create your business, and we're going to go from here. So this is the framework I use for every single time. Before I go looking for tools, before I do anything, I go through this process every single time for my business. And if you want, I'll send you the link in the comment section down below. Just let me know if you guys want it, and I'll drop a link to it. But this is how we do it. Number one, this seems so easy, but I want you to set a goal. And the goals are, it's only going to be one or the two. Are you trying to see how fast you can make money? Or are you trying to find an MVP, a most valuable player, minimal viable product with one goal? Which one are you trying to do? Are you trying to see if you can validate this with money, with people putting out their hand and saying, I am willing to pay for this? Or are you trying to test a feature? Yo, Darren, what's up, man? Thanks so much. And by the way, Darren, by the way, was the first one to give a super chat. And now there are super chats in YouTube. But if you want to ask a question and want to donate, that's fine. But now I have a sound effect for super chat.
Super chat.
That's right. Always trying to add new sound effects to the show. So again, Darren, thanks so much for stopping by. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about picking the right tool. Are you trying to make or validate this by getting paid quickly, or are you trying to build out a feature for your project very quickly? Let me drop this in the chat, the Notion page that I'm using. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. The reason we're talking about this is you're going to pick, am I trying to make money fast, or am I going to validate with one idea? We're going to research a tool and only focus on the goal. I don't care about anything else. If you pick Adalo, Glide, Repurpose.io, Backendly, the list goes on and on. I don't focus on anything but the tools to focus on your goals. For example, if you want to validate and get paid quickly, what's the quickest way? Can you drop them a Venmo link? can you put it on Gumroad? What is the quickest way to validate what you're trying to do? Versus if you're doing an MVP, what is your one feature or goal? Write that down. The next part is find the goal and the exact feature the tool provides that will get you to your goal. And we'll go through some examples, but that's crucial to make sure that this is the right thing. And then you sign up for the tool and only look at instructions on how to use one feature in order to reach your goal. And then you execute. We did this yesterday with a few people in the On Deck membership or On Deck program, the fellowship. This is what you need to focus on. Do not focus on understanding the entire product. What are you trying to solve? And then let's execute. Let's try it out. I'm going to give you some examples, but anyone in the chat want to, ask me about what they should be getting, I will go through this exercise with you right now. The next part is questions to ask yourself to find the right tool. What are you trying to accomplish? Okay, so is this a mock-up or an example of an idea? Are you trying to build an app? Does it have to be an app? Does it definitely have to be an app, or can it be a website? If it's an app, why does it have to be an app? How are you going to get people to adopt to it? Are there similar apps on the market right now? If so, what makes yours different? Okay, think about something else. I'm trying to solve X problem. What is the problem? Explain it step by step. And then we're going to look at that one portion that is the most painful to see if we can build that MVP to solve the most painful thing. Okay? The next part is, I've already tried X. It's missing Y. What are you working on? What's going on here? And then the third dimension is, what are the major areas for goals that you're doing this? Hacker Knight, thanks so much for being here. Nice for you to stop by. Thank you so much for, giving some good vibes, man. Giving some good vibes. The three major areas for your tool, your no-code tool. Is it for design? Is it for functionality? Is it for automation? Out of those three, what would you land on? Okay? So I'm going to give you some examples in a second. And then we're going to go through it. But if you have some questions, let me know. By the way, where's my applause? Hacker Knight, is this the first time you're here with us live? Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let's go through some examples real quick. All right, these are some examples or questions that I get quite a bit. Let's go through softer. Kevin, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Okay. So I'm pulling up a couple different ones. I'm pulling up Adalo. I'm pulling up Softer, and I'm going to go with Webflow. Hold on one second. Pulling this up, and we're going to go one more. Here we go. Oh, my claps are short, but yeah, Kevin, thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's go through a couple. All right, so when we go through this, we're going to look at a couple different features. Kevin says, I'm currently a reseller with busyness apps, and I hate it. I'd like to offer mobile apps to small businesses. Which do you think is the best reseller offering? Interesting. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Okay. So I'm trying to be a reseller. Okay, so it kind of depends a little bit deeper. How much management are you doing? So let me see. What are some of the features you're looking for? Are you trying to have a dashboard from one major area and you're watching over all of these other apps? Like, get me through some of these. Or are you just building out different ones? So reselling offer. Explain to me a little bit more about that. Just to make sure that I'm understanding that correctly. Make Money's in the house today. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, Kevin, let me know and we'll definitely delve into that. With Business App, there is a CMS backend. Sounds like a candidate for Bubble. Manuals here. The clients can access. Okay, so I would even say it could be Bubble. Yeah, manual could be Bubble, but I would say Okay, so I'd like to offer mobile apps to small businesses. Do you think is the best reseller offering? To me, again, and you're having back end. The real question is, what kind of apps are you selling for small businesses? Is it for them to do something on the front end, like is so you're saying it's customer management system? So you're saying it's closer. Yeah. Let me I'm going to go through this and this might be a couple different options. Okay? So for me, I'm going to think about that, Kevin. I think there's a couple things that I'm thinking about right there. Okay, churches, nonprofit, nail salons. Okay. So let's go through a couple. And anyone else, let me know. Adalo, I do like, but I want to know the exact features where what I'm saying is, I'll give you an example. Do you need to have a admin account to watch everyone else's account, and that's crucial, or can you log into each individual account and have them manage it that way? So that's the only thing that I want to make sure clear before I say yes or no on something. Or are you just looking for a platform to manage all of the different apps that you're currently overseeing and you need to organize it from there? So we almost go like, we call that like shadow government way. Like you're just watching all of that, each individual account. Okay. And from each individual account, you're just tracking, or do you need to be able to edit from afar? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So shadow government style. Okay. So if you're doing that, I have two options for you. So I'm going to write that down, shadow government for you. I would go, it depends on how technical you need it to be, right? So from the shadow government, if you're going to build out a admin portal so you can watch everyone's apps, what's the functionality you need in the admin? Is it just tracking all of your clients, tracking all of the platforms that they're using, or do you need to actually make changes in all those things? So, as we're getting those details, I'm going to go and talk about a few different ones. So a lot of people ask, what's the difference between like Softer and Adalo? Or should I go with Webflow and all of those things? What I would do is first suggest like the main feature, what are you looking for? I'm going to give you an example. If someone's saying, I need memberships and I want to have the minimum amount of things that I need to integrate with. I just need a membership. I need people to sign in and it's got to be a working website, working business. Well, I would go with Softer over Webflow. Why is that? Well, if I'm going to go with Webflow, I could do it, but I would also need MemberStack to accomplish it, right? So then I would say, am I willing to do both, or am I trying to speed up, validate very quickly, and go to market with the minimum amount of technology? Okay, there you go. So it's really understanding what are your requirements, what are the exact functionality that you need now, and then where are you going to be going down the road, and do you need to shift or switch platforms later on once you validate or get to a certain bottleneck, or are you going to put out a timeline and see how fast you can ship? These are some of the factors that you have to consider. The other thing is, are you skilled at Webflow before you go there? If you're skilled at Webflow already and you're proficient, you're like, that's not really a hard thing to have MemberStack. Okay, so there's different factors depending on where you are, your own skills, what you're trying to accomplish, and all of those things. Does that make sense? I'll give you another example. A lot of people ask, well, I'm using Glide app. Okay, what's the difference between Glide apps and Pori.io and Softer? Okay, so let's back up. First of all, what do you want to use? Because Glide is using Google Sheets, when you're looking at Pori.io and Softer, you're using Airtable. Now, Softer is going to be using other things later on, but primarily they're just using Airtable. That's it. So what are you comfortable with? What do you want to build with? The next question is, what kind of things can you use right now to make this a reality quicker? For me, I'm looking at how fast I can move using templates. So a lot of the times, that's why I usually use Adalo or Softer, because their templates are really easy to use and you can get started with under 10 minutes. So Say, for instance, Adalo, I go to templates. If I can find a template and components that work very fast, that's what I'm looking for. Think about all of those different things, what you need for your business. Junior's asking, is Webflow similar to Swipe Pages? Well, in a sense, but it depends on the functionality that you're looking for. Swipe Pages, you're using Swipe Pages how? Is it for just landing pages? Is there something that you're trying to do? Right? So Swipe Pages and Webflow could work, but the functionality in Webflow's functionality is a lot higher than Swipe Pages. But do you need all of those functionalities right now? Depends on what you're trying to do. But they can both be building websites and things like that. But Webflow, it's very expansive. Good question. Kevin says, well, I don't need a full admin area, just a central place to build apps, then be able to make updates or add new features and republish to the app stores for my clients. Okay. Just a central place. Adalo, I don't see it being a problem. I think Manuel was talking about before Bubble. It's possible. The only thing with Bubble, I always mention like how proficient are you in Bubble already, right? So if you're a master, Manuel, if you're a master at Bubble and you want to duplicate projects and scale it out that way for clients, that makes sense. If you're just getting started in the game or you're not proficient at it, I would go with something with a slightly less learning curve, something like Adalo or something like that. If you're looking at that, Kevin, I mean, Adalo is going to be probably the answer for you. And it's pretty easy to update and things like that. I would really make sure that you flesh out all the things that you're looking at. Templates and Bubble help, but things can get complicated fast. Yeah, Manuel. I mean, I've seen some great people that build out stuff with Bubble, but a lot of the time I see a lot of people that go to Bubble, then they get overwhelmed, then they never launch. And they're like, screw this, I'm going to do something else. Yeah, Kevin, trying to get out of the web game. Yeah, I really like that. Now, there was someone, this is something, someone was trying to build a game and they're like, I want advanced animations. I want all of these things. Can Adalo do it? And I was like, well, to an extent, they can do some animations, but what are you trying to do? They're like, well, I want a timer. I want to gamify it. I want to do a bunch of things. Well, if you're looking for something that's more gamifying or gamification or just straight up building a game and you're looking in no code, I would probably build it in BuildBox than anything else. Because BuildBox is made for no code for building games. 3 dimensions, 2 dimensions, everything like that. Can Adalo do some timers and people have integrated and you can see it? Yeah. Can you use timers in Bubble? Definitely. But if you're trying to build out really proficient games, like, yeah, I'm going to go with BuildBox. Yeah, so if anyone's trying to do game design, there's better people than me that have done it. I'm going to do a couple projects in BuildBox, but there's some in no-code Twitter. They're really good at game design. And yeah, Rick's talking about BuildBox is cool. By the way, Rick, thanks so much for joining. Thanks for being on the Twitch stream, by the way. Appreciate it. So it kind of depends. Now, the question is, Hacker Knight says, is Bootstrap Studio better than Webflow? Okay, so that's very subjective, but it also depends on what you're trying to do, right? So, Mike, glad that you're here, dude. Thanks for being here on Periscope. Of course, you can always jump into the YouTube. You know, people are over there yelling and stuff like that. But Mike all the way from Periscope, thank you so much. So BuildBox, BuildBox, let me look at this. Let me read it better. Bootstrap Studio. Yes. Can you use it? Is it cool? Yes. But what are you trying to accomplish? So I don't want to say, is it better than Webflow? It just depends on what you're trying to do. What's your workflow? What are you trying to accomplish? Very few times am I going to say one thing is better than the other. I have a few. And I will leave those rants out of this for the most part. but very few do I say this one is better than that. It just depends on what you're trying to accomplish, what you need it for, and everything like that. There's a few people I've seen that use Bootstrap Studio, and they love it. But again, very specific case studies, and Webflow is built for very specific things too. So, yeah, Hacker Knight, tell me a little bit what you're trying to look for and stuff like that. Kevin's talking about AppGyver. Yeah. AppGyver is pretty interesting. We'll talk about that 1 second. How do I say that? Maybe Farman, maybe? I think. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but thank you. Is there an app like Adalo, but for web-based software? But for web-based software. Tell me more. What are you trying to accomplish? Web-based software. Are you? Yeah, I want to answer that. I just need more details, I think. Define web-based software, but for web-based software. Tell me more, just to make sure that I'm on the right page. Oh, as in not a mobile app. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. So if I'm looking at that, I'm probably gonna go more towards Softer, because Softer is going to be doing both, right? So it's going to be for websites and web apps, but you can build it. It's pretty powerful, and it's similar. But again, before I would say that, Farman, I would say like what is the exact features you're looking for. But Softer is one that works on both, right? It's not just built for web app. It's built for a website, things like that. But I would probably make sure that I understand your use case of what you're looking for. Rick is saying, back when I coded websites, I used a ton of Bootstrap. Webflow made me a no-code dev from the first use. Interesting. That's really good to know. Rick, what are you building these days? You're building on Adalo for the most part? Yeah. That's a really good case study. I think I'm missing a question. Going through them, making sure. Okay, yeah. And the same thing, I did a versus video recently, Kevin. I'm not sure if you saw it. I did it against like Bubble versus AppGyver. I like AppGyver a lot. And shout out to Max from 100 Days of No Code. He had him on their show, on his show or his community a couple weeks ago. I think AppGyver is a lot of fun. Just kind of depends on learning curve, what you're used to. I would say at the level, if you're familiar with things like building in Bubble and things like that, AppGyver can be really good. Yeah, I'm a fan. Just depends on what you're trying to build. The other thing that I was going to show too is a lot of people were talking about, okay, so I try to connect this. How are you trying to make money? What are you trying to do? And so I pick a lot of tools based on what type of business or structure you're trying to build out. So that's why the 75 no-code business ideas, I'm tying the exact tool to the type of business I'm trying to build. And that's so I can cut out, is this one better than this one, or all these many things that I could do. The no-code business one, it allows me to be focused on what I'm doing. So think about that. It depends on what you're trying to do, but if you're interested, I'll drop the link. But it's dropping down on all of the different no-code tools that I'm using and then going from there. Rick is saying using, how do I say that? Is that Xno for a backend with Adalo, now that Adalo allows external user authentication, at least in beta? Good times. I like that. You're really expanding that out. Have you connected with Dan? Dan's doing a lot right now with different features or different third-party things adding into Adalo. Okay, so let me go to my list. Some people that couldn't watch live, they were having questions, and maybe this will help others. They were asking, number one, how do you pick, let's see, how can you pick for what platform you're trying to do, Sketch or Supernova? Oh, okay. Let's look at Sketch and Supernova. Okay, so bottom line, let's go through a couple different things. This goes down to how are you trying to build? What are you comfortable in? And then what's the exact thing that you're trying to accomplish. So Supernova is going to allow you to build the animations, build out what you're looking for, and then you can export, and then you're connecting it to something like Ruby on Rails. You're connecting it to other things to make it live, right? So if you're building and you're building out all of the buttons, all of the widgets, all of the things that look good, you're building out all of the screens. Now you're going to be giving this to a dev, or if you're a dev as well, you can be using Supernova as all of your, I would say, skin or the interface that people are dealing with. And then you're going to have the code in the back end to be able to connect the rest of the system that you want with. So Supernova, a lot of people use it for that case. It can do a lot of other things. Some people just use it for code generation, stuff like that, whatever, working with clients or working with their team. It's different than necessarily why you would use Sketch all the time, okay? It can overlap. There are some use cases why you're using this as well, but Sketch, a lot of times people are using that for presentations, making sure the dev team, everyone, investors, everyone knows what's happening, the progression, the storyline of the app or the website. And again, some people are using Sketch for different websites and then they export it. Some people are using it for user workflow and they're testing how people are using it. So I would say if you're going to go for Supernova or Sketch, really be clear on what you're trying to accomplish, what platform, what are you trying to accomplish, and then you can pick the platform from there. Esteban says, I have to go. Thanks so much for sharing all this knowledge. No problem, man. Thanks so much for stopping by. And let me know. As always, hit me up on Twitter if you need anything, man. Thanks for being here. Okay, so, Sketch and Supernova. What am I going to look at next? Okay. Someone is asking, why do you say repurpose is the Zapier of content? Okay. Let's go through this. Okay, so we were talking about this on repurpose.io, or what repurpose.io is. So it allows you to create once, publish everywhere. So if you create one piece of content, a podcast, a live stream, it allows you to repurpose very quickly. And different things that you're seeing, such as Gary Vee and how he has the subtitles or it's clips of his content, that's exactly how we did it. We use the same exact process of using the Gary Vee content model. And you can be doing this instead of having, like Gary has 20 plus people that work for him. You can be doing this with a small team or yourself in creating content. And it's all based on automation on the back end by creating custom workflows. So a lot of people, this is another one that we're going to be talking about in a week or so. We were talking about how did this channel jump from 700 subscribers to now we're at 2,700, something like that. It was how we structured automation in testing different content and then seeing the different types of content people want and then learning how to convert them on that. So say, for instance, I would put out 47 pieces of content per week at a certain time, and then repurpose allowed me to do that and scale it. And then we looked at the top 3 types of content, and then that's all we do now. So it allows you to really cut through a lot of different aspects, all with automation, and see what works. Also, too, if you're running a podcast and you want it to go on YouTube as well, you want subtitles to be added, you want clips and everything, you can do that all with repurpose. And so, that's why we call it the Zapier of content. Mike says, Doc, I'm trying to accomplish this, build a product service subscription website. What tool would you use? Okay, so you're trying to do a product service subscription. All right. Right off the bat, I would probably just use Podia. You can do it with, subscriptions now, Gumroad allows you to do it. But, of course, I'm not looking at trying to get percentages and taking away and all those things. I just want to pay a flat fee, and then I can take the rest. So I would go with Podia. The reason behind it is I can set up tier memberships, but also I can be selling productized services all with Podia and all of those things. So, yeah, I would use that. And the reason I would use something Podia over like a Thinkific or anything like that, Podia's designed to sell online courses, downloads, webinars, all different types of forms versus just course based. So then I can create bundle packages. I can create, just straight digital downloads when they log in and create an account. So yeah, I would go with Podium, Mike. But I would, if you want more details or tell me more or email me or message me, like DM me if it's like something sensitive. But yeah, I would probably do that. Yeah. Okay. Let me go. No worries, Mike. All right. So again, let me review this. And then if anyone has any questions before, let me know. I'm supposed to be for On Deck Mastermind. So I'm going to cut this a little short, but I'm going to make sure that anyone has questions, we're going to go through all this. So again, picking the right no-code tool. How are you going to be doing this? Pick a goal. Are you going to try to see how fast you can validate and make money? Or are you trying to build an MVP with one goal? Again, if you look at Instagram, PayPal, whatever it is, if you're looking at the platform, you're focused on one goal. Do not try to meet the needs or create the next Snapchat or the next Instagram without understanding what was the key feature, key component that made that platform so good and why people wanted it. You've got to understand what key feature do you want to prove for your users to love, use daily before you start trying to expand out and be the platform or the SaaS platform that you see a competitor in your space currently is, right? Think about that one feature you're trying to do. You're going to research the tool and only focus on that goal. You're going to find the tool and the exact feature you're trying to do, and then you execute. For example, someone asked me yesterday, they're like, I want to start streaming. Should I be using StreamYard, Restream, Ecamm Live, XPlayer, all of those things? What are you trying to accomplish? What is the main thing you're trying to do? And then we work backwards from there. So again, if you have questions on a certain tool or a set of tools you're thinking about, let me know in the chat. Then questions to ask yourself to find the right tool. Are you doing this as a mock-up, as an example? Are you trying to go for the workflow, the functionality of the app? What are you trying to do? What is this app or idea close to? So you can clearly show or clearly delineate what is your app going to do that's different than the competition. How are you going to make this better? How is it different? Right? Instagram copied a lot of things that Snap did with filters. Why do still some people use Snap? Why do some people use Instagram? Why do some people use TikTok? Why are some people go on and on and on? What's the main feature that someone's going to be knowing you for, and what are you trying to prove? And then also too, what have you tried before in the industry? What has your target demographic tried? It doesn't work. You're building it for that reason. Now, for no-code tools, again, it's going to be broken down into three main components, mainly design, functionality, or automation. Now, there's some other factors, but for the most part, it's going to be in these three different categories. Are you doing this for design purposes, functionality, or automation for a business or service that you're trying to render? Okay, so I'm going to drop the link in the chat again for how we pick the right no-code tool. Hold on. I'm going to say pick the right no-code tool. Okay, and if you have any questions, let me know. We're going to be doing more comparison videos. By the way, if you want me to compare a certain tool or something like that, we've been doing that a lot more on the channel. So if that's something that you like, please let me know. I'm going to be adding a lot more in the coming weeks and everything like that. But this is a framework for you to get started, for you to really capitalize and move fast with your projects. If you have any questions, let me know. We're here all the time. I think I'm going to stream on Sunday as well. I might just do like 5 hours or something like that to break it down. But this is the main thing. Also, too, if anyone wants the 75 no-code business ideas, I'm going to drop that down in the comment section down below. You can get it at appsumo.com. This will allow you to see all the different businesses that we built over the last year with different no-code tools for you to really start doing this for yourself. Synovia, Vidyou, Brand Mentions, Tribe, Ringblaze, Attention Insight, Restream, Social Animal, Hopin, King Sumo, Market Plan, TubeBuddy, whatever it is. We've been building a lot of different businesses with this. So again, If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of the discussion today. And I'm going to be back later. You're going to be seeing some more videos drop later today or tomorrow. And again, thanks so much for dropping by. Rick, Farmna, oh man, there's too many. Hacker Knight, Kevin, Make Money, Manuel. There's so many. Yo, Darren, Esteban, Erica, everyone stopping by. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all